What's going on, YouTube? It's Q back here again with another video for you. Today's video, I want to talk about what happened to Acura of Troy. So if you haven't seen the video, it's my most popular video on the channel, unfortunately for me. But what happened was I took my car in for service. I put an exhaust on my car. It was leaking oil. Took it to the dealership. It's under warranty to get the oil leak fixed. So while the car was in there for service, my car got damaged. My wheel got scuffed up by the dealership, and I'll play a short clip of the video. My front bumper is misaligned. It's been that way. Whoever installed the illuminated emblem, they didn't align it the right way. It's still
Sir,
not
it's
aligned.
nothing but a plastic clip that holds it in there.
It's misaligned. It's not
There
about
is
it
no
being.
alignment. It snaps into a clip.
It's not lined up. That's off.
That's exactly the way they come.
That is not how they come. Are you serious? Are you
Sir,
serious?
what else can I do?
Are you serious? This only stood out because it's plain as day. It's the scuff on my wheel, and that's a shame.
And I'm sorry that you can't remember where it happened, but
So this is that's a shame, man. That's terrible. So,
as I told you, we drove it straight
this
into the
is
shop.
basically the dealership wouldn't take responsibility for damaging my car. And then to make matters worse, they didn't even fix the issue. So I got another part of my exhaust. I put a resonator on there because my exhaust was a little bit too loud. And then we find out that the car is still leaking oil. So I had to take it to a different dealership to get it fixed. They ended up calling Honda in to come in from Ohio. That's where the car is built at, in Ohio. So a whole lot happened with this vehicle, a whole lot bad experience. This is my new car right here. I got a Subaru WRX TR now, replaced my Integra Type S. Sadly, didn't want that car to go, but I just couldn't live with it. So Acura of Troy. So what happened to them? So if you look at the Google reviews, they were low before I took them in there, but I decided to take the car back because I bought it from that dealership. So I wanted to do them a favor just to let them service the car. Wherever I tend to buy a car from, I'll let that dealership service the car. But going forward, that's not going to be what I do moving on. But they had a 3.9 star rating, and oh my goodness, after everybody saw the video, it went from 3.9 to like 3.2 or 3.3. But the state of Acura of Troy now, they are no longer in business. The dealership is not there anymore. It's right behind the camera. So it is no longer an Acura dealership. It is now a Volkswagen dealership. It's owned by the same company, because I told you the Chevy dealership right behind it owns it. So now the Chevy dealership owns the Volkswagen dealership, which used to be right down there. I don't know who used to own the dealership, the Volkswagen dealership, but now they bought the Volkswagen dealership out. And I hope that they do better in the service department. So I don't know who works there. I haven't even stepped foot on the property because I just don't even want to deal with them still at this point. And that happened in May. Now it's November, so a few months ago. So now, since the Acura dealership is no longer here in Troy, what happened to the dealership? Well, since I got a bunch of dealership friends, I actually heard it from a Buick dealership that they got bought out by LaFontaine. And LaFontaine is another big dealership here in Michigan. So they bought them out. So now that Acura dealership is in Commerce, Michigan. I haven't been out there. I would like to check it out, but I don't have a reason to now. I don't have an Acura anymore, so it doesn't make sense to. Was it my fault? Was it you guys' fault? Because you guys showed me overwhelmingly a ton of support. It's just, I was so happy to see so many people supporting me. A few bad apples, but the overwhelming majority they just had my back. They left reviews, and I thank you all for that on Google, Yelp, and just that's what should happen. Like when dealerships treat people that badly, they deserve whatever negative press comes with it. So they did end up making the situation right as far as my scuffed wheel goes. They did send me a check to repair my wheel, which should have happened in the first place, but I had to go through Honda. Honda also didn't do anything about the situation until the video took off. So they sent me a wheel, which was a kind gesture, but they just did it at the wrong moment. Initially, they said nothing. It was like, SOL, tough titty. That's what they said to me. So what happened to the employees at the dealership? I have no idea. So I checked out the Volkswagen dealership over there, and just to go to meet the team, there's nothing on that website. I personally don't think it was my fault that they shut down. I think they should have been shut down for how terrible the service was, because if you look previously to my review, it was other negative service reviews, and people message me personally, employees that work there. Actually, somebody that I know that worked at another dealership where I bought another car from used to work at that dealership, and he was like, you can see why I'm not there anymore, because it's just the culture that was at that dealership. So that the whole thing shut down. I think it was just the culture of the dealership. You can't treat customers like that and expect to stay in business. So that's the inevitable. You treat customers crappy, that's what's going to happen. Nobody's going to go back. And it got so much bad, negative 1-star reviews. Man, that's a tough hole to climb out of. And they asked me to tell y'all to stop writing negative reviews at the time, but I don't know half of y'all. I don't know a lot of y'all that did that. I just don't know y'all. I'm just a YouTuber. I don't know everybody, but I thank everybody that just had my back in that situation, because that was a difficult time to go through. But yeah, they're no longer in business. I don't know what's with the general manager, the service advisor, who was the worst person at the dealership. I just don't know. He might comment on this video. Well, he don't got a reason to be stalking my videos anymore, because dealership employees was stalking the comments, just making, it was obvious it was a dealership employee, and every time I would pin it, they would delete their comment. So obvious. But my word of advice to y'all, whenever you take a car to a dealership, do a walk around video, take photos of every nook and cranny of the car, so you have proof, and there is no denying that. Thankfully, I was recording. I wish I would have just took straight up pictures, but I did a video and I was able to get a snippet of where the damage was on the car, or where it wasn't on the car on the same wheel before I dropped it off. So you're gonna have to do your due diligence. A good dealership, they'll take the photos. When I took it to Acura of Ann Arbor, once I put it in the service bay, the service tech, they walked around the car and took probably 20 pictures, and you all commented as well. That's what happened at your dealership. That's the sign of a good dealership. Not only are they doing it for you, but they're doing it for themselves too, which is just smart. So us as customers, we got to do the same thing. Walk around the car, just note everything. If something was a certain way, record your mileage, because we also had a discrepancy where the service advisor said they didn't drive the car at all after rebuilding the top half of the engine. My car had 8 extra miles, in which you should drive a car after you rebuild the engine. I'm not even sure why he would say that. Knowing he's being recorded as well, that's wild to me. But just do your due diligence, take photos, get that proof, CYA, because you do not want that to bite you in the butt. Because imagine if I had no video proof, I just would have, it wouldn't have been that bad. I would just had a scuffed wheel, which would have cost me a couple $100s to get fixed. But I still had to go to another dealership, which was a headache, which is an hour away from here. And this is not that far away from where I live. But just do your due diligence, read reviews. That's something I got to leave you with. Read reviews before you go to the dealership. If everything's positive, me personally, I would only mess with something that's like 4.4 or 4.5 stars or higher, and just read the service, because sales and service are different. Sales teams are generally, people are happy with sales for the most part. They just bought a car, they think they got a good deal, they feel good. Service, I can see how that could be more negative, especially if you got to come back to the dealership for that. So just do your research on the cars, look at Yelp, Google, Facebook reviews, just all of them, to see if this dealership can take care of your needs. And if it's something very basic like an oil change, learn how to do it yourself, because it's not that hard. I've seen plenty of videos. I personally have yet to do that. And it's kind of hard to want to do it yourself when the dealerships offer free service. I got a gripe about Acura, the company. They say they have free service. They wouldn't change the oil with the engine rebuild because it wasn't below a certain threshold of 15%. So my car was around 7,000 miles and they still wouldn't honor an oil change. This is something new. They didn't, in 2023, they weren't that strict, but 2024 and beyond, they are that strict. And I don't think that's cool. They should just, if they give you 2 free years of free maintenance, 2 years free maintenance, just do that, Acura. Like, why is that such a hard thing to do? It's just an oil change. That's one of the cheapest things that y'all can do. And just be mindful. Normally the people that are doing the oil changes happen to be the newbies at the dealership, so they aren't going to be the most experienced people. So if you're just getting the oil change, it's going to be the new guy at the dealership doing it. It's a high chance of that. So you can do it yourself. Go to an independent shop. Somebody you trust first. Trustworthy people, that's it. Even if it's a dealership, if you can trust that dealership, been working with them. There's some dealerships that I do trust. Not all dealerships are bad. I'm not just going to write all of them off. Because like Acura of Ann Arbor, they just did a outstanding job making up for their F-ups over here. If you can wrench it on your own, just do it. It's not that hard. So I'm going to explore doing that myself moving forward on my vehicles, because I don't want just anybody touching the car who's not going to care for my cars, because I'm not the most loving. I still haven't washed this thing right here, but I would rather somebody just care a little bit. Just give a little, just a little bit. So that's what happened with that dealership. They are no longer right behind me. So you can see it's the Volkswagen dealership. So hopefully they manage that dealership better. And looking at the reviews from the Chevy and the Acura dealership, the Chevy dealership, they're in the 4-star range, so they do pretty good over there. I personally have a gripe against a sales guy over there, but I was trying to buy. That's a whole other story. But they do better. And shout out to the GM that was, so it's no GM that was sitting in the Acura dealership. He was in the Chevy dealership, so he made the situation right. So I think his name was Jeff Groom or something. So he made the situation right. It's a hard situation to be in, but he cut me the check for the wheel. That's all I wanted at the end of the day. I just wanted my wheel, because I didn't damage my own wheel. And that's nothing, like, why would I, $200, this is a waste of my time to be putting this much energy to fight over $200 too. Like, it's a huge waste of time. And they think I'm scamming them for $200 for a wheel? Like, come on, no, I got other stuff to do, much better stuff to do. Busy man right here. But I just wanted to give you all an update, because I did get a few comments asking what happened to that dealership. And a few people let me know that the dealership was closing down or being bought out. So there was people dropping comments like that. And I got my tip from the Buick dealership. They let me know. I'm like, So I started checking. And once I typed in Acura of Troy, it just wasn't there anymore. I still saw those negative reviews. So it was at like a 3.3, 3.2. But they are just not in business anymore. So hopefully that Volkswagen dealership is better. So if you want to buy a car from there, do your own research, your own service. Like, that's on you. But I ain't got nothing for no recommendations. This is from me. But if you're in this area, do your work, do your due diligence. And this is Troy, Michigan, by the way. But that's all I got for you all. You all make sure you drive safe, do your due diligence, take care of your car, and cover your hiney, because the dealership has to cover theirs, and they're not trying to make these payments out to you. Why would they? Because they're in business to make money. So that's all I got for y'all. Drive safe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.